wealthy ones. Welcome to the Wealthy Way podcast. I want to thank you for attending today's class where we are at the beginning, around page 27 of reading Options Trading, how to turn every Friday into payday using weekly options. Generate weekly income in all markets and sleep worry-free. Okay, and this book is by T.R. Lawrence. All right, so I want to thank you for your attendance and just let me know that, or just to let me know that you're here. Please hit the thumbs up and like the video as you come in. Also, subscribe to the channel. I'm so happy that you chose to come in, whether you come in while we are live or you catch the replay. So yes, I'm so happy that you chose to come in and learn the wealthy way today. Feel free to hop into the chat or hop into the comments. And if not, that's fine too. I will still feel and very much appreciate your presence. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it for today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with reading some of this book. And this is really an exercise in consistency for me because, yeah, it's an exercise in consistency. I have been wanting to learn the options trading game, so to speak, for a long time. And so I stepped out on a limb to purchase this book. And so I want to get through it, obviously. And most importantly, I want to put the things that I learn into practice. So today is day 3 of this reading. And we were at page 27. I stopped mid page 27. So that's where I'm going to pick back up right now. So the subtitle here is Deeper into Childhood Experiences. Okay. I want to go back to the impact of childhood experiences to dig a little deeper. I grew up in a household where we had what we needed. I came from a blue collar family. Mom and dad worked. We always had clothes, we had food, we had a nice house. However, they worked hard for the money. However, there was duality and conflict. On one side, my mom would put me to bed at night and say, "Someday I'm going to invent something or do something and become a millionaire." Also, if I could read, I could do anything. So, guess what happened to me? I mean, I am an incessant reader even today, and I became financially secure relatively early in my life. We will talk about keeping it later. Then on the other side was my dad. I do not remember how young I was one day when I innocently asked him how much money he made. He got angry and defensive and said, "We do not talk about those things." That was a total blindside. On one side of it, there was this complete abundance flow mindset from my mom. And on the other side, there's this giant negativity. Then it got worse. I was confused and felt really stuck. Then I got severe asthma. And since mom was a nurse, her mantra became, "Don't do too much." I know she loved me and was being protective. However, one side was full throttle and the other was secret. And the other was secret. So don't do too much. Is that word secret? That is secret. Okay. Don't do too much. Hold on. Okay. As I began my career, the swings were huge, managing to attract all this amazing abundance and then seeing it slip away as the don't do too much belief came roaring in. The infamous margin call was the classic example of giving it back, resulting from this belief. I do not have any beliefs that allowed me to keep any of it, or I did not. Okay. This happened to me a number of times, and I felt like I was a yo yo and someone else was in complete control. It was not until I recognized the mindset and pattern and said, okay, I get it. I am choosing a different path here. Acknowledging and changing that mindset was and continues to be one of the best things I've ever done. It was hard work to dig all that up. Now it's your turn. What is your current money mindset? So, after all this, what is your current money mindset? When you start thinking about money, do you feel excited? Do you feel anxious, indifferent, something else? That question is a powerful starting point. Just about everybody has an emotional response, whether they realize it or not. For some, money triggers, as I said, feelings of stress, anxiety, and worry. Others feel excitement, joy, and a sense of power when they think about money. Some people are completely indifferent or neutral, and they just view it as a practical necessity rather than an emotional topic. It is important to say that there is no right or wrong here. It is just what you feel. And if that feeling is serving you, great. If it isn't, then you basically change it. Does your attitude toward money change depending on the context? Do you feel one way about money when you think about your own finances versus those of someone else? How do your feelings about money affect your behavior? Do you do you avoid thinking about it because it stresses you out and you just turn a blind eye? I had a friend years ago who was a very successful executive. Her mom and dad had lost a lot of money in a business, and she had a complete block about dealing with money. And it was amazing. I walked into her office, page 30 now. There was a guy, literally named Rocco, there who was repossessing her car. I asked myself, how could this possibly be happening? Because I knew how much money she was making and that she drove a Miata, not a Ferrari. She was so blocked about money that it was hard for her to make a simple car payment. Do you obsess over it? Do you spend it impulsively or do you save every penny? There are important things to journal about. No, I'm sorry. These are important things to journal about. Once you can get through those, changing or improving your mindset is the next step. List any of the limiting beliefs or negative self talk that you may have about money from the previous exercises. Tuck them away in a journal. You will have a process to work through. When these beliefs come in, you can see them printed on a beach ball and then bat them away. When these beliefs come in, you could work harder at reframing them from any of the negative talks. Like if it is, I'll never be wealthy or I am terrible with money, that could easily be reframed with something like, it's, isn't it great that I'm learning how to be good with money? Isn't it great that I'm finally learning how to do this? I wonder how, I wonder how to do this. And see that beach ball and go. Then take a walk around the block and see what comes back. Your journey begins today. page 31. The journey, let me see. Just a moment, bear with me. Okay. Your page 31. Your journey begins today. The journey on this really begins today. And developing a more positive and empowering money mindset will help you approach money challenges with confidence and resilience and overcome just about anything in your life. This is about more than money. Once you are in that positivity, all of a sudden you have a different vibration. People look at you differently. You walk into the store and someone says, "How are you?" Instead of saying, "Hanging in there." How did those words feel versus "I am great"? This mindset now gives you abundance and positivity because of your willingness to learn and grow. You can view setbacks as opportunities. As I said, going back to the margin call, I really wish that did not happen, but it was a defining factor that changed my life for the better. All those years of not understanding that process. Once your greatest fear has been realized and you have overcome it, then you really walk differently as a human being. Success now is not new to you because you know what it feels like, looks like, and tastes like. You also know exactly what you do not want and are able to change the channel on those thoughts and actions to bat them away. Page 32. Developing a growth money mindset. A growth mindset is the end goal. Things do not go in a straight line. As we said, every once in a while we'll make a temporary investment into someone else's account and learn to roll and manage trades. How to rinse. I'm going to start that over because I think it's saying something different than what I thought it was. Okay, developing a growth money mindset. A growth mindset is the end goal. Things do not go in a straight line, as we said. Every once in a while, we'll make a temporary investment into someone else's account and learn to roll and manage trades. How to rinse and repeat and create your personal ATM, drawing out as much cash as you want. The basis of the growth mindset revolves around reframing the negative thoughts of developing and learning process and willingness to learn to the point where you are always growing and nothing is static. I learn new things all the time, looking at the markets, looking at companies, and looking at charts. There will be a section later in the book about how to supersize trades. Our Kaching method works and is solid and reputable, but there are ways to supersize it if market conditions are favorable. I was not doing that a few years ago, but now I am. And the extra cash flow is great. We are always growing. Okay. Gratitude is the key. One of the greatest positive elements of this process is the practice of gratitude. When I take the time to be grateful and write down what I am grateful for that day, it is comforting. And there is an unmistakable feeling of warmth. It could be anything: finding a parking space on a busy street just when you need it, a sudden windfall, or an answer to something you were working on. As you give thanks and recognize that synchronicity, it is amazing. And more just keep coming. I keep a gratitude journal and take a few minutes to write those things down, but more importantly, what do they feel like? As the journal pages fill up, one thing becomes very clear: there is no shortage of miracles available. And it makes me feel connected and great. All right. And dealing with non supportive people. This is not anyone's favorite thing to deal with. However, moving forward with your mindset means working to surround yourself with people who are positive and supportive. Sometimes that can be challenging, especially if some of those people are family members. They may not see eye to eye with you. I'm sorry. They may not see eye to eye with what you are attempting to do. If there are beliefs that come up like, well, you can't do that, or that is not for you, or you do not know anything about that, then you must reframe all those. No one knows about anything until they learn about it, right? 34. Some of this is done for protection because they do not want. Whoa, let's see. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Some of this is done for protection because they do not want to see you hurt. Other times, they see you taking action and becoming successful, and it points out their lack of action or awareness and makes them feel bad. As I was coming up through the entrepreneurial ranks, I worked in Silicon Valley for a number of years, and I got to the point where I started to have nice cars. Then some of my friends, oh, I got to the point where I started to have nicer cars than some of my friends, and this and that. It was hard to process because they started treating me differently. A mentor helped me with the process and to accept that some would say, mm, 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 okay, a mentor helped me with the process and to accept that some would stay friends and others would go. And it was okay. I was taking action and was the one working weekends and taking courses, and they weren't. His comment to me was, you do now what others will not. So later, you do what they cannot. It is hard to get rid of a toxic family member. However, you can set boundaries for what you are available for. You always stay in love no matter what, but you can make a choice. Hey, I love you. However, I choose not to be around you right now if blank or whatever persists. In my opinion, it is okay to do that. There may be times when someone tells you that you are being selfish. That is tough. What I learned over the years was that, okay, it was a compliment, assuming you are not me, and only me, and rare. No, wait a minute. Let's see. What I learned over the years was that it was a compliment, assuming you are not me, and only me, and are helping where you are able. Okay. And the reason is that I was making my own choices for how to live my life and was not going to live the life that someone wanted for me because they had remorse or it was some kind of family tradition. Okay, so we're going to stop right there at page 35. And that's what we're doing. We're just taking little small segments of time, little bite sized pieces, and getting this book read. So from getting the book to day 3 of reading the book, and now on page 35. And we'll just keep going at it like that. Um, so, the first part of the book has been sort of like an introduction of the author, um, some about their life. I don't know if T.R. Lawrence is a man or a woman, but some about their life and a lot about changing your mindset. And I'm glad that the emphasis is on this because this is tremendously important. It really is. And I need not recap everything that's been said. Um, but I think that it is very important to make sure that when there is opportunity for more to come in, we don't have a mindset that's blocking it and keeping us from making the choices um, that would be beneficial and prosperous. And um, because yeah, as you may have already figured out, if you have a certain mindset, um, you can sabotage your own success in one way or another. So this is very good, and I did think it was going to probably get more to straight to the point of the how to on the weekly options trading, but I see it's basically turning out to be more of a well-rounded book, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. So I want to thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the video. Please come back. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And like I said, we'll keep on tackling this in these little small segments until it's until we get it read and until we are actually putting in some trades and making that weekly bank. All right. Okay. So, once again, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.